Hello everyone, I am Varun Gupta and you are watching Natural English. This is Verbal Ability Capsule 21, useful for everyone. So let us begin with some very interesting, very useful, very impressive phrases. Prime Minister tried to play down the results of the public inquiry into pension frauds, shrugging off blame from journalists for having handled the matter incompetently. Now please have a look at the first interesting phrase here, play down. To play down basically means to try to make a problem or difficult situation seem less important than it is. If we play down something, we try to make it less important. We try to make it less significant. We try to underplay the situation. It is opposite of hype. It is opposite of to create a hype. When we create a hype, we make a situation look more important. And when you try to make something less important, we are playing it down. At first, the government played down the threat to public health. There was a threat to public health. The public health was in danger. Initially, government tried to play it down. Government tried to make it looking less important. But then coronavirus became so powerful that it really became the biggest problem faced by the world in 21st century. Military spokespeople tried to play down the seriousness of the disaster. Disaster is a big problem. Seriousness of the disaster. When a disaster is causing a huge loss, it is definitely serious disaster. So military spokespersons of the military, the people who are addressing the media on behalf of the army are military spokespersons. They tried to play down the disaster. Initially, they tried to underplay it. Initially, they tried to make this problem look less challenging than it really was. But afterwards, they need to understand it in proper context. So when you play down something, you are willing to make it less important. Shrugging off. Shrug off is a very beautiful phrase. It basically means when you brush aside something, when you ignore something, then you are shrugging it off. I admire the way she is able to shrug off unfair criticism. Unfair criticism, when people criticize you unfairly without any fairness in them, then you are victim of unfair criticism. And I am really happy, I appreciate the way in which she is able to shrug off unfair criticism. She ignores, she brushes it aside. She does not pay attention to unfair criticism. She is able to focus on her job, and if people criticize her unfairly, she can totally ignore that. You are a father and you can't simply shrug off your responsibility for your children. You can't simply ignore your responsibility for your children. If you are a father, then you just can't ignore, can't avoid, can't brush aside your responsibility for your children. Your children are definitely your responsibility. For having handled. Now this is basically a very good pattern. We can use it interestingly, but please understand, for having is followed by a third form of the verb. It means for doing something in the past. For having handled, for handling something in the past. I really condemn myself these days for having wasted time in my student life. I really condemn myself. Condemn means criticize myself. I scold myself nowadays. Why so? For wasting time in the past. For having wasted means for wasting time in my student life. When I was a student, I wasted a lot of time. And please, dear friends, understand this very clearly. If you are wasting your time in games or in web series, trust me, after some time, you are definitely going to condemn yourself for these mistakes. Nobody can pardon her for having told such a lie. For having told, that means for telling in the past. Nobody can pardon her. Nobody can grant her forgiveness. Nobody can forgive her for telling such a lie in the past. Lie means when something is untruth, not a truth. If you tell something which is not a truth, you have told a lie, and nobody can forgive her for telling such a lie in the past. So let's look at the complete sentence. Prime Minister tried to play down the results of the public inquiry into pension frauds. There was a public inquiry into pension frauds. In pension, there were some frauds. An inquiry was conducted, and the results of the inquiry came. And the PM initially tried to play them down, underplay those results. PM tried to tell that these are not significant, shrugging off blame from journalists, and he brushed aside all the blame from journalists. The journalists, the people who are from media, the newspaper reporters, they were blaming the PM, but PM totally ignored it for having handled the matter incompetently. And why were the journalists blaming the PM? Because they believed that PM has not been able to handle it competently. Competent का मतलब होता है capable. When you do something capably, with capability, you have been competent. Competently, with capability. Incompetently, without capability. When you are not competent, when you are not capable of doing something, then you have handled it incompetently. Second sentence, dear friends. I know you think I am a wimp, but I am telling you this piano won't budge. You have a go. Wimp. Who is a wimp? Now please note, wimp is only a colloquial word. It basically means you should not use in formal situations. Wimp is a person who is physically or emotionally weak, lacking in confidence, always afraid. If your body is weak, if you are emotionally weak, if you don't have confidence, if you are always afraid, then you can be called wimp. Wimp is somebody who is not strong, who is weak, who is not confident, diffident, who is not full of energy, who is always afraid. Such a person is wimp. Don't be a wimp, be strong. It's very common sentence. You may tell it to your friends when you feel that they are losing their confidence. Come on, don't be a wimp. That means don't be weak, be strong. I am afraid, I am sorry, I am a bit of a wimp when it comes to climbing up ladders. Many people are afraid of climbing up very high. If you want to climb up ladders, ladders means when we have a temporarily usable staircase which is visible on all the sides. So many people lose heart when they are asked to climb up ladders. I am afraid, I am slightly weak, I am slightly afraid when I climb ladders. There is a word for this. This is phobia. When you are afraid of heights, there is a particular word for it. I request you to post that word in the comment box. I'll find out whether you have watched this video carefully, and if you know, if you can find out the word which denotes this fear, which is fear of heights, so please type that phobia word in the comments. Now the next word is budge. Budge basically mean when you move something or you are moved with difficulty from its position, to change one's mind, to compromise, then you are budging. Now this word basically is used in negative sentences. Don't budge, I don't budge. That means budge is basically 90% of times used in negative sentences only. In Hindi there is a word tas se mas hona, that is exactly meaning of budge. Their horses refused to budge. The horses, their horses did not allow to move. They refused to budge. We shall not move. You cannot move us. The door was stuck and we couldn't even get it to budge. The door was stuck. The door was fixed somewhere and we could not even get it to budge. We cannot even make it move. The door was so locked, so fixed that we could not even move it a little. Move it a little. Next word is have a go. To have a go means to try to do something. Come on, have a go. Come on, let us try. I've always fancied scuba diving, so I was keen to have a go. What is scuba diving? When you go inside water with some camera, with some oxygen, and you can see the land underwater. I've always fancied. When you fancy something, you want to get something, you want to do something. You are very much attracted towards something, then you are fancying that. So I have always been attracted towards scuba diving, and so I was keen to have a go. I was very much eager to try to go for scuba diving. Can I have a go on your guitar? Guitar is an instrument. Can I have a go on your guitar? Can I try on your guitar? Will you allow me to play your guitar? The complete sentence, dear friends. I know you think I am a wimp, but I am telling you, this piano won't budge. You have a go. I know you think I am a wimp. You are considering that I am not strong, but I am telling you, this piano won't budge. This piano will not move. You have a go. You try also. So we can understand that the speaker might have tried to move the piano. He could not move the piano, and then some onlookers were looking like at a wimp, and therefore the speaker said, I know you think I am a wimp, but I am telling you, this piano won't budge. You have a go. You also try. You also cannot move this piano. Thus said the speaker to the onlookers. Third sentence, dear friends. She assured me that the accommodation was spick and span and that my client would be missing out on something if he didn't take it up. The biggest mistake I made was that I took her word for it. The first phrase here is spick and span. Beautiful, spotless, neat and clean, completely clean, spick and span. Julian is so mad about cleanliness that she always keeps the carpets spick and span at home. Now some ladies are mad about cleanliness. They just want to keep house clean. They keep their drawing room so clean that if you go there, you feel afraid that I might not destroy it. And when the guests come, and if something is there on the floor, the interest of the ladies only in one thing, that let the guests go and I will again clean the floor and make it again spick and span. Right? Some people also say that this is a mania for cleanliness. It's a mental disease. But anyway, she always keeps the carpets spick and span at home. At her home, all the carpets are completely clean, spotless. She is very much dedicated about cleanliness. The staff of the park have been busy in the past few weeks ensuring the park is spick and span for visitors. The staff of the park, the people who work in the park, have been busy in the past few weeks. For the past 2, 3, 4 weeks, they have been very busy to make sure that the park is exactly completely clean for visitors. They want to make the park spotless. They want to make the park neat and clean. The next phrase, dear friends, is take it up. To take it up basically means to finalize something, to buy something or to hire something. You may hire a house, you may buy a house, you may finalize a deal, then you are taking it up. If you take it up, you will never regret for this decision. If you finalize this, if you buy this, you will never regret for this decision. You will always be happy that I took a right decision. You will never feel that I made a bad decision. Regret means to feel sorry for something. So here speaker says, you will never feel sorry for this particular decision. You will always be happy. So basically, it's a motivational marketing sentence. This property is really very good. You should consider taking this up. This property is very good, so please plan to take it up. Consider to take it up. Try so that you can take this property up. The next phrase, dear friends, is took her word for it. When you take someone's word for it, you accept it. You rely on something, you depend on something someone says as being true or a fact. You believe that if he is saying it, it must be true. without verifying it for oneself. You don't check it yourself, you don't examine it yourself, you don't confirm it yourself. You simply depend on somebody, you accept somebody, you rely on somebody, that you have taken his word for it. Don't take my word for it. Analyze yourself. Now somebody is saying, don't take my word for it. Analyze yourself. The speaker told you something, but then also warned that you should not rely on me. You should analyze yourself. Listen to your boss, but take your own decisions. Listen to your boss carefully, but decide for yourself. It's not good to take his word for everything. Whatever he says, you should not accept it completely. You should not rely on it completely. It is not good to take his word for everything. The complete sentence, dear friends. She assured me that the accommodation was spick and span. She assured me. She gave me confidence. She gave me assurance that this house, accommodation means house, property, place, room, flat, that is accommodation, was very, very clean, and that my client would be missing out on something if he didn't take it up. My client would be missing out on something. My client will really regret if he didn't take it up, if he didn't buy this or hire this. The biggest mistake I made was that I took her word for it. But now the speaker says, I was told property is clean, but it was not clean. This was my error, my mistake, that I believed her completely. I must have analyzed myself. I must have asked some other people. I must have checked the property myself before taking it up. Thank you, dear friends. So waiting for your comments, waiting for your suggestions, and definitely we shall keep on making them more and more so that you are able to crack every competition successfully. Keep on watching, keep on growing, keep on enjoying. Thank you. All the best.